OUI and vendor assigned address. When you are, for example, manufacturing one network interface card, first you need to take the OUI, one or more OUI from the IEEE. You can find easily the real table about the OUI of the different companies in the internet. Let me to show you a little part of the one of these, for example, lists. In this table, we have the real MAC address OUI assigned by IEEE to different company, but this is not a complete table. You can easily find this the complete table in the internet. Look at here. As you can see, the Xerox takes this OUI's MAC address OUI from the 00001 to 09, okay, for Xerox Corporation. After that, here we can see the Cisco's MAC address, but the Cisco's OUI. But let me to say that the Cisco has another OUIs in the other part of the, for example, table. Because with OUI, with OUI and also vendor assigned address, we can identify each MAC address uniquely. We ensure that this MAC address is unique. The IEEE calls this universal MAC address global MAC address. Maybe you hear about the global MAC address, universal MAC address, or burned-in address. Okay, all of them are same, because now we can say that this address certainly unique in all over the world. Because of that, until now we learned about the structure of the MAC address, the address that we are using in the, for example, Ethernet networks. Let me to show you one MAC address. You can easily find the MAC address of your PC. For example, this is the packet tracer. We can add one PC here and another PC here and another laptop here. Let me to show you how we can find the MAC address of these devices. The command may be different in different OS. For example, in the Windows operating system, we can use ipconfig/all command. Look at here. Look at here. We have desktop and then command prompt. This is the command prompt of this PC. We can use ipconfig/all. Look at here. We have many information here, but let me to find the physical address. This is the physical address or the MAC address. This is the MAC address of my computer, and the 6 hex characters, first hex characters are the OUI, and the 6 last hex characters are the vendor assigned address. Let me to compare it with the MAC address of the next PC, the PC2. Look at here again, ipconfig/all. Look at here, the MAC address now is different, as you can see, and we expect it. Look at here, the MAC address is different. Also, the OUI is different here. And let me to show you the MAC address of this laptop. Again, here, ipconfig/all. You know that each network interface call, a network interface card has one MAC address. For example, if you have 4 network interface card in your device, in your server, you will have 4 MAC address. Look at here. Again, here we can see that the MAC address or physical address are different. Also in your computer, in your, for example, operating system, you can easily find the MAC address with the similar command or with another command. This is my computer. Look at here, ipconfig/all is the first command. Let me to limit the result because I have more than one network interface card. For example, I can use a vertical line more. Look at here. This is the Ethernet adapter. This is the Ethernet adapter, Ethernet 4, one of my network interface card. You can see the physical address. Okay, this physical address is starting with 00059A. After that, for the another Ethernet adapter, you can see we have this physical address. We can use another command for finding the MAC address on the Windows. The command is getMAC. Look at here, getMAC. Because I have more than one NIC here, we can see more than one MAC address or physical address. Okay, until now we learned about the MAC address and how we can we are using the MAC address in our networks, and after that we learned that how we can we can make the MAC address unique, okay, from the vendors. You know that the MAC address was burned by the vendor into the ROM chipset of your network interface card, and you can't change it. But let me to say that we have different type of MAC address. For example, we are using one type of MAC address for one type of communication. We are using the second type of MAC address for a different type of the communication. Let me to talk about this. This is important for us. For understanding the different type of the MAC address, we need to first think to the different type of communication. You know that we have three type of communication in the IPv4 networks. For example, we have unicast communication, means one system trying to send traffic to another one system, one-to-one. Then multicast means one system trying to send traffic to multiple or many systems. Broadcast means one system trying to send traffic from itself to all of the other systems. Okay, because of that we have three types of communication, and because we are working in the Ethernet LAN and we are talking about the address of this type of networks, we need to say that we have three type of MAC address. The first type of MAC address is the unicast MAC address, and the second type of MAC address is the multicast MAC address, and the third type of the MAC address is the broadcast MAC address. You know that I mentioned that the MAC address has two parts, the OUI and then vendor assigned address, and the MAC address is unique, and this is a physical MAC address. These are all of the specification of the unicast MAC address. This means that until now you learn about the unicast MAC address, not other type of MAC address. And the unicast MAC address is the most famous and most usable MAC address that we are using it in networks in all of the days that we worked with the network. Because of that, now you know about the unicast MAC address. For example, I will show you it here. For example, my computer or my network interface card has this unicast MAC address, quad 0, then 0100. This is only one example, 11, then quad 1, for example. This is the MAC address of my PC, and then I'm going to send the traffic to this MAC address. I will show you the Ethernet frame, and in that Ethernet frame you will see the source MAC address and destination MAC address. For example, this is 2. This is unique. We are using unicast MAC address for unicast communication. Don't forget that the source MAC address, in each frame we have source MAC address and destination MAC address. Look at here, you know that when we give the packet to the Ethernet as the data link layer protocol, the packet should be encapsulated with one header and with one trailer. I will show you in the next video the header and trailer with more detail, but here we have layer 2 header and also layer 2 trailer. Okay, and in the layer 2 header, some part of the layer 2 header is the source MAC address and destination MAC address. Let me write here in the for example this is the layer 2 trailer, then the packet. After that, in layer 2 header we have some parts. One of them is source MAC address, and the other is destination MAC address. That's it. Okay, we have another field in the layer 2 header. I will talk about them, but now you know that the source MAC address and destination MAC address is available. When you need to use this MAC address, or when you are sending a frame from one system to another system, you are using unicast MAC address and in the source MAC address, and also unicast MAC address in the destination MAC address. But when you want to send traffic from one system to multiple systems, again you need to use the source MAC address, a unicast MAC address, and for destination MAC address the multicast MAC address. Again, when you want to send traffic from one system to all of the other system, the source is unicast and the destination MAC address is the broadcast. We have a special MAC address, we call it the broadcast MAC address. The broadcast MAC address is the largest MAC address, or is the highest MAC address, quad F, quad F, quad F. This is a reserved MAC address. When you are sending a traffic with destination of quad F, means this traffic should be received with all of the systems, for example all other systems except us. Okay, you know that when we are sending this packet, this frame with the source of this system, this PC, with destination of quad F, the packet should be received by all other systems. This means that in all type of communication, multicast, broadcast, and unicast, the source MAC MAC address is the unicast MAC address, and destination MAC address can be unicast, multicast, and broadcast. Frame sent to this address means to quad F should be delivered to all devices on the Ethernet LAN. But let me to talk about the multicast MAC address. You know that, as I mentioned before, we have another type of MAC address. We call it multicast MAC address. The multicast MAC address has some specifications that is beyond of the scope of the CCNA. In CCNA, we don't talk about the multicast MAC address. If you want to learn about the multicast MAC address, you need to review, you need to learn about this concept in the higher course, for example, CCNP or CCI. But let me to say that when you are using the multicast MAC address in the destination MAC field, the traffic can be accepted with multiple systems. And after that, let me to say that the multicast MAC address has some differences with unicast MAC address. For example, the multicast MAC address is not unique. Why? Because you know that one MAC address should be assigned to multiple systems, and after that the traffic that is sending to that MAC address should be accepted with multiple systems. Because of that, here we have some differences between the unicast and also multicast MAC address. You will learn about the multicast MAC address in future in the higher course, but for now in this course we are using unicast MAC address. You know that unicast MAC address is a unique MAC address, and the uniqueness can be achieved by OUI, unique OUI, that we are receiving it from the IEEE, and the manufacturer received this address, this part of address from the IEEE, and also vendor assigned address. And also we are using broadcast in this course. This means that two type of MAC address will be used in this course, unicast and broadcast, but we will see the multicast MAC address in the future course. You know that unicast MAC address is unique. Multicast MAC address is not unique. Broadcast MAC address is a specific or a special type of MAC address, and we don't have any other MAC address for broadcast. The only broadcast MAC address is quadf.quadf.quadf. Very good. Now we can review some of the terminology about the MAC address. What is the MAC address? MAC address is the Media Access Control abbreviation, okay? Or 802.3 Ethernet defines the MAC sublayer of the IEEE Ethernet. Ethernet address, NIC address, LAN address are other names of the, we can use them for the MAC address. Ethernet address, NIC address or NIC address, LAN address. These terms describe the 6-byte address of the LAN interface card. Burned-in address, the 6-byte address assigned by the vendor making the network interface card. Unicast address, a term for a MAC address that represents a single LAN interface. Broadcast MAC address, an address that means all devices that reside on this LAN right now. And finally, the multicast MAC address. On Ethernet, a multicast address implies some subset of all devices currently on the Ethernet LAN. Okay, very good. In this video, we learn about the optical fibers and some details about these links. And after that, we learn about the address of the Ethernet addressing, MAC address, how we can unify the, for example, MAC address, and what is the different types of the MAC address. Now it's a good time for reviewing all of the topics of this video, because in the next video again we will talk about the Ethernet LAN, but now it's time of talking about the logical function of the Ethernet LAN. We will learn about the, for example, a layer 2 header that Ethernet should add to the packet, layer 2 trailer that Ethernet should add to the packet, and finally the functions of the different fields in the, for example, layer 2 header and layer 2 trailer. It's necessary to review all of the topics I mentioned in this video. After that, please come with me to the next video for talking about the Ethernet LANs, about the Ethernet framing, the logical function of the Ethernet. And you know that the logical function of the Ethernet is related to the data link layer function of the Ethernet.